RocSports, I'm back with another video. Alright, so man, what a classic. What a classic fight that we just seen. This is an all-time great fight. First thing first, I was wrong. Congrats to Tyson Fury. He's hands down the best heavyweight on the planet, without a question. Congrats to Deontay Wilder too, though, man. Congrats to both guys. To it, man. I think that was such a great fight. First thing first, let me get that out the way again. That's a classic, man. That's a classic. That's one of the best fights I've seen since I've been watching boxing live. But I'm very proud of Wilder. I'm very proud of Wilder, man. He gave it all he had. He gave it all he had, for sure. First thing first, he came out round one. Wilder, that is. Both guys came out. Well, Wilder was very hyped, very energetic in round one, flicking the jab, throwing the right hand fast and fierce to the body. Really, the first two rounds, he was doing it. But I said this early on. I said, man, Wilder looks so stiff. Like, and to me, it was because of the weight gain. Like, he just looked so stiff with all the muscle. But he came out, and it seemed like, to me, it almost seemed like he came out fast. And what I meant by energetic, like in the sense to show everybody what he's been working on. Like, he was anxious to just get back in there, show everybody, you know, like, yeah, like, I'm here. Especially to Fury. But at the same time, I felt like he did that because of Fury's fast start last time. And so Fury wouldn't step to him as fast. I felt like he did that because of that too. Well, that was the game plan. And then on the flip side of that, I felt like for Fury came out conservative, feeling Wilder out. Okay, he's definitely going to the body. You know what I mean? Like, there's Fury in his head. And then I felt like Fury made the adjustment. And Fury did a very subtle movement. Each time after Wilder got off, he would get off real quick. Fury, that is. He would get his 1-2 off real quick and then smother Wilder. This was very early in the fight. Well, he did it the whole fight, but I'm saying this was early in the fight when Fury did this. He would step to Wilder and get off real quick. He'd flick his jab and feint here and there, do typical Fury stuff, and then he'd come in with the 1-2 real quick, and then he'd step to Wilder and smother his work. And he started leaning on Wilder. And obviously that's Fury. That was clearly Fury's game plan to weigh Wilder. You know, let all the weight from Fury get on Wilder and weigh him down. And it worked, man. It definitely worked. So on top of that, from that, meaning Fury leaning on him and Wilder's muscle, I felt like he fatigued so quick. Like, I seen Wilder's stamina so much better in previous fights. But again, that's a testament to Fury. I'm giving that credit to Fury, man, with all the leaning. Fury is hard to beat, man. He's difficult to beat. And once again, I already said, I concede that he's the best heavyweight of this era. It's clear, regardless of what happened. Right now, he's the best heavyweight of this era. He's gonna be very difficult to beat because I don't see how smaller guys is gonna deal with him. When we say smaller guys, meaning like Usyk, I just don't see how Usyk is gonna deal with him. I just think he's too small. I think that Wilder is the second best heavyweight, but I'm not mad if Usyk is ranked, obviously, because he has the belts. But Fury's he's gonna be difficult to beat, man, because the dude, you can drop him. You can drop him. Not even, yes, Wilder is the most powerful puncher ever in history, but so obviously him getting dropped by Wilder is not as bad. Like, my point is, Fury has been dropped numerous times in the past, but the dude recovered like no other, man. Like no other. His recovery time is out of this world, and I guess you could say that's a skill. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's nobody else in the sport that recovers like him. But getting back to the fight, Wilder's legs, to me, again, was gone by the third round. Even when he dropped Fury in the fourth round, I think it was, or the fifth, whenever it was. I don't know if it was the fourth or the sixth, but whichever round he dropped Fury in, I felt like his legs were still gone. That was just his raw power that dropped Fury. And it stunned him, obviously, both times. But his stamina, man, his stamina, and again, I think it's a tribute to both the weight gain and Fury, and that's credit to Fury and them for their game plan. That's a great game plan, and that goes back to my point of I think he's unbeatable, man. He's unbeatable. After the fourth round, after the double knockdown, you could argue the next round they both were still, it was kind of like it wasn't as much going on, but from that point on, it was just like, man, it was just a beatdown. It was a beatdown with Wilder having moments, but it was exciting because you just felt like Wilder was done, but he wasn't done because he would just come back and have these little flurries. But that was just Wilder fighting on pure guts, pure heart, man. Shout out to that dude. He's a true warrior. Fury too. As much as I dislike a lot of Fury antics and, the controversy that surrounds his name, he's a hell of a fighter, man. He's a hell of a fighter. He's a great fighter. Very skillful, very knowledgeable, and he's a warrior. For sure. And he's the best heavyweight of this era. When Wilder would have moments, Fury would sort of stop him in his tracks a lot of the times with his jab. Fury has a great jab, man. And because he's so big and long, he doesn't have to be close at all to get it off. So even when Wilder a lot of times before he would even really get his punch off, Fury would just, again, stop him in his tracks. And then he would switch it up and come down real quick with the 1-2. And it just stunned Wilder, man. He was out of it. And I think a lot of that, yes, Fury was hurting him, but a lot of that too was just because he was just out of it in terms of stamina. His endurance was just done. I want to say, though, to all the people that wanted to get on Wilder in terms of he was done. This was going to be easy work for Fury, like quicker work. Wilder had no shot, whatever the case. Everybody know what was said for both sides. I'm just glad that we got a controversy-free fight, and it was a great fight. This was the best fight of the three, to me. Again, congrats to Fury, but to everybody that wanted to dog Wilder, give this man his credit. He said he wanted to go out on his shield, and that's exactly what he did. He gave it all he had. Wilder was done for like 5 to 6 rounds, and he was just going, just giving it all he got. And again, he still had his moments on top of him getting beat down. Fury, his stamina though, on the flip side too, his stamina was great. For him to be so big and for the way that he looked, you would think that, stamina wouldn't be an asset for him, but it definitely is. And the way that he leans on Wilder and lay on him, man, that just seemed like it's just mauling, like, in the sense, like he's just mauling Wilder, smothering him so much. Well, a lot where Wilder couldn't even get off because he was just smothering him. But Fury and Sugar Hill, from whether they was fighting on the front foot or the back foot, they look very impressive. And he's unbeatable, man. And in terms of Wilder, I don't think Wilder's done, but it's very interesting to see where he's gonna go from here. So if Fury continues to fight, which he's already talking in the press conference, I haven't tuned in yet, but he's already talking, saying that hopefully he doesn't fade off into depression again. So we don't know what that's about. I hope he don't, and I hope he continues to fight and put on great fights. And both of these guys, but I don't think Wilder's done. I would love to see Fury it looks like Fury's gonna fight the winner of Otto Wallin and Dylan White, and assuming he wins that, with the winner of Joshua and Usyk, and then that's the big one. That's for all the marbles. But again, if AJ was to lose to Usyk, I still want to see AJ and Wilder. Even if AJ win, I mean, regardless, I still want to see Wilder and AJ against everybody. Fury against everybody. These dudes are still great, man. They all great. Wilder's great. He's a warrior. He's a legend. But Fury's greater. So, yeah, I'm gonna watch this fight again. And I'm really want to do another recap of this fight. But that's my initial thoughts. My man lost. My dog lost. But I'm still Team Wilder for sure. Congrats to Fury. He fought a hell of a fight. And I'm interested to see where both of these guys go next, man. And the heavyweight division is live. Boxing is winning again. That's all I got now. I'm on to the next one. But yeah. Again, though, I got another video coming out. Also on that video, I'm going to do an undercard breakdown, too. The undercard was a good undercard, don't get me wrong. But it was a little underwhelming for me. I expected a little bit more. But I'm going to break down those fights, too. But again, shout out to Fury. Shout out to Wilder. RocSports, I'm checking out. All of my boxing, NFL, and NBA fans, like, share, and subscribe, man. Keep coming back. I'm going to be dropping more content.